Welcome back to the Ryan Dunstan podcast, Words from a Humble King. And today, listen, we're going to be discussing the ever-evolving world of relationships in 2024, love, right, or lack thereof, and today's 2024. And keep in mind, although this will apply to romantic relationships, I am by no means just referring to romance. I'm also referring to any kind of relationship, family, business, friendships, etc. I do, however, want to start today's conversation off with a clip from Diamond Cut Media with some young ladies discussing men who make $50K per year and how they shouldn't be dating in 2024. Check this out.
Your $50,000, don't date. I'm just being for real. You're not ready to date.
Again, I'm with you.
You're not ready to date. You're not ready to date because courtship costs.
Okay.
Everything costs. You can go for 22 walks in the park. Eventually, shorty is gonna need a sip of something. She's gonna be thirsty. This bottle of water is $3 in Atlanta. Let's not play. So if you don't have any expendable cash, don't date. And whatever that looks like for you, you might only make 50,000, but you live in a shoe. And now you got expendable cash. Or get you a bottom of the barrel bitch that's gonna date you when you have no money. If she doesn't have that expectation, and I'm gonna tell you this right now, enjoy it while it lasts, because eventually you're gonna wanna run. Because she doesn't stretch you. She doesn't make you the man that you need to become. She allows you to be this stagnant dude in the same jeans for days. You know what I'm saying?
Cutting up.
There's so much to deal with this clip. And, this is why God said, don't be unequally yoked, right? The thing that makes this so difficult is that she's not necessarily telling a lie. She's telling her truth, right? About how she sees things. And the amazing thing for me is how she's kind of summed all women up, right? And if you do make 50,000 a year, you somehow, some way are not allowed to build with a woman who wants to build with you. And if the woman wants to build with you, then she's somehow a bottom of the barrel bitch. That has me floored, right? To me, her perspective is so limited, so small, it's only referring to a very small amount of culture. She has completely forgot that some women do want to build with their man, and that some men want to build with their woman. And how if you do build with a woman and you obtain the things through building with your woman, you're going to go through some growing processes and all of that kind of stuff, things that'll bring you two closer, right? And you're going to be so reluctant to leave that circumstance, that situation, that union, because of what you guys went through to build what you've built, that you're not going to want to give that to anybody else, right? And I just find it amazing that either you make more money or you deal with a bottom of the barrel bitch. That to me has me, I'm on the floor. Before we go any further in this conversation, fellas, I want to make one thing clear. This is not the majority. This is a minority, all right? Because there are women that do want to help you build. Do not believe these lies, and do not believe the hype. Just because they have a microphone and a bunch of followers, do not believe the hype, right? The fact that she summed all women up and judged them, right, to the bottom of the barrel is crazy to me, right? But you know what God said, judge not, yes, lest ye be judged, right? And how the hell did she forget that there are women that do want to build with their men, and that it's actually better that way, right? There are women that will budget with you and challenge you to grow, and vice versa, right? And this is all today's culture. And let me tell you something, if you disregard the unequally yoked portion of all of this, there's a few things that you'll deal with, and that may even have you looping all women together in your pain of rejection. Let's dig in. All right, fellas, there's a few things that you might have to deal with if you choose a woman like this, right? Number one is values and misalignment. If a man values things like honesty, kindness, and emotional connection, but the woman is primarily focused on material possessions and wealth, it could lead to significant value misalignment. And this can only create conflicts and make it challenging to build a meaningful connection with a woman, man. And I'm gonna tell you, when you climbing, you are definitely gonna meet some challenging moments. And how can you go through that with a woman who's only focused on a $3 bottle of water? Number two, clearly this woman's shallow. So you can expect the relationship to be shallow as well, right? Materialistic and individualism often prioritizes superficial aspects of life, such as money, status, and possessions over deeper emotional connections. And this can lead to a shallow relationship, right? The lack of emotional depth and genuine intimacy. And if those things ring true, then how in the hell could she say that a woman who's growing with you can't motivate you, push you, and stretch you? Crazy. And number three, one thing you're going to have to keep in mind here, which is going to be monumentally important, is you're growing through trying to get to where you want to be. You're climbing a mountain, which means there's going to be some failure. There's going to be some hard times, right? And you can expect her not to go through that, right? And if that's the case, then you're going to feel financial pressure, right? Materialistic individuals, they may have a high expectation for expensive gifts, lavish experiences, and luxurious lifestyles. And this can put a significant financial pressure on you, big guy, as you try and create something out of nothing. And this is the part of this whole process that she does not acknowledge in her sentiment, right? There is a crazy absent-mindedness in her statement because she's totally forgetting what it takes to grow, what it takes to build, right? And there is no way she could meet your expectations in your valley while you climb to your peak. And that's not a mother that I would want to raise my kids. That's not a wife that I would want to stretch me, grow me, or push me. And number five, you can't build with someone who's only focused on one thing, right? And she's primarily focused on material possessions and wealth. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't be focused on wealth, but there are challenges and obstacles that come along with trying to get to wealth. And you can expect someone like her not to want to go through those challenges, which is not going to make you guys compatible in your growing season, my king, because you are going to be growing and it's going to hurt. There's going to be times where you're not going to know how to handle certain circumstances and certain failures and certain obstacles that you're going to have to overcome, and you're going to face emotions you've never faced before. You're going to have to face a you that you're not going to know how to deal with, and you're going to need a counterpart who can speak into your blind spots. And you don't want her speaking into your blind spots. A mind like that is only going to be focused on one thing. And we don't need that in our times of turmoil, which every king will go through, right? I'm going to tell you straight up, I don't see love in her. I don't see how she could actually make the statement for such a small amount of demographic, a small amount of culture, right? You could just see how small her mindset is. And I'm going to tell you, if you get lost in her words, you could mess around and take on pressure you were never meant to take on, trying to build what you're trying to build. Come on here now. Now let's switch a gear here, because clearly I'm not just talking to the ones who are shallow and only focused on money, but let's set a true understanding here. You have to be strong to love, because the strength of love is a deep and powerful force that can have a profound impact on individuals and relationships, right? Love has the ability to bring people together, create bonds, and provide a sense of connection and belonging, which, to be honest, clearly from what we just heard, some men and women won't even admit that they need, unfortunately, right? And the flip side to it is love can scare the hell out of you, to be honest, because it's because of the vulnerability connected to it. The exposure of your feelings and your emotions, dependencies, right? Your insecurities, right? Potential heartbreak, a risk of rejection, maybe even a loss in identity in some cases, can all scare the hell out of you. And can we just keep it a stack real quick and admit just how strong you have to be in order to open yourself up to love? No matter the sort of relationship it is, family, romance, whatever, you have to be strong to do what most are not willing to do in this day and age, clearly from what we just heard, which is love. But let's dive deeper. Now, we all know that anything worth having will be hard. It's going to be hard for a few reasons, especially regarding love. And number one is commitment and loyalty. Let's just start with admitting that it's hard to be loyal to anything that is causing emotional instability. Staying power will be tested here. But love often involves a strong sense of commitment and loyalty to the other person. This commitment can be or can provide a solid foundation for a long-lasting and fulfilling relationship, as it helps you weather the ups and downs that come with life. But what about when you throw in a few things like, trust issues, insecurities, self-interest, changing circumstances, conflict and disagreement, emotional barriers, childhood traumas, and trying to communicate through it all, right? And can you just begin to see how hard and how much strength it's going to take to love? And number two, love is going to take emotional resilience. Love can provide emotional support and comfort during difficult times. Knowing that someone loves you and cares for you can give you the strength and the perseverance that you need to get through challenges and to help you overcome obstacles. But love also endures. Love is going to be tested. There's no doubt about it. No one's perfect, and everyone has been hurt, either from their past or from relationships, whatever the case may be. And everyone changes as well. So love will have to stand the test of time. And during these challenging times of any relationship, love will have to show its resilience. And we all know what doesn't break you, it makes you. It's going to take an unbelievable amount of strength to endure those moments, especially when we're talking about emotions. It's hard to see through feelings. And number three, empathy and understanding. Man, there's so much here, but I'm going to sum it up like this. Love fosters a empathy and understanding between individuals. When we truly love someone, we are more likely to be understanding of their perspective, of their feelings, and of their needs, which can strengthen your relationship and help you navigate through the conflicts and pits of life effectively. But can you understand love demands a change due to compromise? Change is difficult. It takes strength to change. Change is also good. Don't get me wrong, right? And it's good for both in the relationship. Now we're talking growth here, and growth is always good for any relationship. But you have to be strong to let go of who you were to change into someone you didn't know you'd be changing into. You also have to be strong to have empathy until you experience the change in your counterpart, right? Because we all know hurt people, and you're gonna have to endure some inflictions from your counterpart. Number 4, I believe love can be a motivation and serve as inspiration. Love can be a powerful motivator, inspiring you to be your best self and pursue your goals, right? And your dreams. Knowing that someone believes in you and can support you can give you the strength and the confidence to achieve all that you were always meant to be. And number 5, healing and growth. As love endures all of what we just discussed, you'll experience the powerful healing that love is. And me personally, I believe that love is God and God is love, thus making it the most powerful force on this earth. Love has the power to heal emotional wounds and promote personal growth. And when you feel loved and accepted for who you are more likely to work through the traumas and the insecurities and the limitations leading to personal development and self-improvement. Man, culture really muddied the waters on this one, but I'll be vulnerable enough to keep it on me. So let me just say this. Where I'm from, I feel like love gets a bad rap amongst men and women. I know for me personally, there was no room for me to learn how to express my feelings as a youngster. And the dysfunction took precedence in my family. And as a family, we never really talked about anything. We swept things under the rug, unknowingly, of course. And please don't misunderstand. None of what I'm articulating was deliberate. But the moments we had free from the alcoholism, free from the drug addiction, free from the yelling, free from the fussing and fighting, and everything else, we cherished those moments. We didn't throw dirt of unprocessed emotion on top of those moments. We were just wanted to be free. We just really wanted to be free for a small amount of time that we desperately needed, by the way. We just wanted to be free from the pain. So there wasn't any processing. I was never taught how to express and how to regulate my emotions. And I kind of feel like this was confirmed by societal norms, especially for men, and maybe for women too. But for men, I just feel like we were taught how to be rocks. And over time, feelings unknowingly became foreign to me. Everything was sexual or monetary. Life had become transactional, and each encounter became either an opportunity for exchange of something or someone, or you became numb, muted to life, like a, hermit crab retreating back into its shell. And that was because you couldn't really be your authentic self. The you were always designed to be. And now that I reflect on it, now that I reflect on the world, it only really formed two options for you. Either you conform or be weird and rejected. You know what I mean? But when you heal, you begin to learn or unlearn all of these things, but from an older and more mature perspective, revisiting moments that were misunderstood and given perspective and compassion to not just your circumstances, but your family's circumstances, and then the world, right? You begin to really understand the complexities of the frustrating, tangled confusions of life. You begin to realize that this is the beginning of love for this world. Love for those who honestly don't even know that they're hurting. Love for God's children. It's crazy. But this is the Ryan Dunstan Podcast. And these are words from a humble king. And until next time, peace, family.